Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. It's going to be a bit of a different video. There's been a lot happening in the cryptocurrency space it's only been a week. It feels like it's been a lot longer, but it has not been. I'm going to give you a rundown of a number of things that have happened over the course of the last week and some change. And I'm sure you've seen the title of the video. It's not actually clickbait, and that is kind of the worst part of it. I've been in the cryptocurrency space roughly since around 2014, 2015. I don't have an exact date for anyone out there. But what's been happening over the last year and a half is, I would dare say, quite unprecedented. And it's leading us into this gigantic dark hole of despair that the cryptocurrency market probably will not be able to exit from. And without further ado, let's properly jump right into it. So, like I said, I'm going to give you the rundown, then I'm going to give you exactly what's actually happening. On the 6th of November, I believe that was a Sunday, the entire commotion began to run around the fact that Changpeng Zhao on Twitter announced through his or Binance's account, I'm not really sure, it doesn't really matter, that he was not going to be supporting anyone who was found to be voting against the cryptocurrency industry, as he called it. Allegedly, what got linked or leaked is that Sam Bankman-Fried, the former CEO or head of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX, allegedly, I don't know if this is true, I'm telling you everything that was running around on Twitter. Apparently, during the US midterm elections, he had given money to the Democrats, or the left-wing party. And a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space are actually right-wing, for those of you who did not know that. And apparently this ruffled a lot of feathers, and this is where the message from Changpeng Zhao writing on Twitter, "We will no longer be supporting who give money to the opposition," actually came from. Once again, a portion of this is speculation, but you can find the tweet from Changpeng Zhao. You can even find the news on the internet that Sam Bankman-Fried had allegedly at least given money to the Democrats. On top of that, he wrote that he was not in the mood to have some other similar situation that was going to be like another Terra Luna, which happened earlier at the beginning of this year, where we saw the cryptocurrency coin, one of the most popular coins out there, called Terra Luna, collapse. We're not going to go over why it collapsed. The point is that it did collapse, and this is also part of the chain of command that we see in the cryptocurrency space and why everything is actually now in front of us beginning to collapse. On the 7th of November, there began to be a lot of rumors of insolvency surrounding Sam Bankman-Fried and the cryptocurrency exchange FTX. Why? Because of the hint that Changpeng Zhao gave us on Twitter. A lot of people began to talk about that the website crypto.com and FTX, there were also rumors of Coinbase and a number of other cryptocurrency exchanges that they had all become insolvent. There was no money left, there was no proof of reserves, no one knew how much money people were making and or were simply creating out of thin air to post somewhere else. The list goes on and on and on, but the entire idea was the idea of insolvency for FTX, the idea that they actually had no money, and this began the beginnings of what is called a crypto bank run, or a crypto run, or not your keys, not your coins, not your coins, keys, whatever people like to say on the internet. Basically, the idea is for a bank, if everyone goes to the bank at the exact same time trying to take their money out, it is called a bank run. Banks, for those of you who do not know, do not have all that money on their order books. Banks only have a fraction of what they say that they have, because logically, by law, that's what's allowed for them. So if everyone ran to a cryptocurrency exchange at the exact same time to try and take off their coins, and the coins were not there, then the cryptocurrency exchange has therefore lied, they are insolvent, and thus begins the collapse of that cryptocurrency exchange. Part of the reason, before I actually forget, part of the actual really weird reason is that for about 3 or 4 days, a lot of people began to say that FTX was actually insolvent, when I don't think that they were completely insolvent. We found that they had between $8 to $10 billion worth of debt, but for 3 to 4 days, people were still able to actually take their coins off of the cryptocurrency exchange. That's also slightly neither here nor there, but I wanted to make sure that you also knew that before we actually moved on. On the 8th of November, it appears that we began to get news that part of the problem why the cryptocurrency space, at least 2 days after we heard from Changpeng Zhao, was actually dropping massively in price, is that allegedly the cryptocurrency exchange FTX had created the FTT token. Every single cryptocurrency exchange has their own coin, and FTX had created FTT. And apparently FTT had been used to buy up a number of nearly everything within the cryptocurrency space. The major rumors were that apparently Sam Bankman-Fried, along with Alameda and along with all these letters are driving me absolutely insane, and FTX Exchange had allegedly purchased around 7 to 8% of Robinhood. You know, the app that everyone loves all over the place. Everyone keeps using Robinhood. Apparently they owned a portion of that, and then Robinhood stock also began to fall. And then we had news that apparently the people from FTX, the cryptocurrency exchange, and Alameda apparently had a huge stake in Solana, the database coin that everyone also loves as well. So if you saw over the course of those days, even the course of the entire week, Solana kept on falling with a bunch of other coins because FTX, the cryptocurrency exchange, had been selling off their other coins in order to allegedly prop up the price of FTT, which was a token that they apparently created that had no backing and no value, and therefore they had allegedly created nearly $1 billion plus worth of value out of nowhere to use up to buy other assets. Does that sound familiar? It should. If you had a chance to at any point watch and or listen to the podcast by Laura Shin, she has a podcast called Unchained. The Unchained podcast had a podcast with a guy, Do Kwon, who's from Terra Luna, who allegedly caused the crash of Terra Luna, where she's asking him questions that she looked on their order books and found that there was apparently another coin that they had created that was based as a stable coin, and they made over $1 billion of it. They made over $1 billion from a coin that had no backing, and therefore that coin was then used to buy up a whole bunch of other assets as well, which is currently where we also are in the Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, Alameda, FTT token debacle thing that's going on. So everyone got that? Apparently fake money was made. That fake money was then used to buy up real assets, if you want to call it that. There's also rumors of people buying houses in the Bahamas. I also have where's the rest of it? Apparently buying companies, creating fake money. They were over leveraging. They were buying businesses and homes in the Bahamas, and also a bunch of other coins similar to Solana. On the 9th and 12th of November, I told you, it's going to be a bit of an interesting video, so just hang in with me so I can finally get to the entire idea of everything that's going on. Between the 9th and 12th of November, cryptocurrency markets completely collapsed over the idea of contagion fears. Why contagion fears? Because people quickly realized, and now this is one of the worst parts for me. I've noticed that over my years in the cryptocurrency space, a lot of people realize quite quickly when something is a scam, but they believe that they are above the scam or can exit the scam before the scam actually gets found out. This is why I believe we saw the market completely collapsing a couple of days ago, because people realized that maybe FTX or Alameda had exposure to a number of other coins, like we saw Solana falling, and therefore they began to pull their money out of other cryptocurrency exchanges and other DeFi platforms, which have also been collapsing over the course of this year. For those of you who are keeping track, the high-profile ones, there have been 5 this year. That's 5 collapses, 5 drops, 5 this protocol, this company, this exchange, this institution, this something that's been into cryptocurrency is now terrible and collapsing and falling. And people always keep pretending that they, are surprised. Where's this coming from? No one saw this coming. If you ever follow my other channel, the other channel is called The Modern Investor. I go over daily cryptocurrency news. Daily, that's not a joke. I make a video every single day, 7 days a week. I used to do it 2 or 3 times a day. That's also besides the point. The entire idea is we go over this news all the time. If you ever heard the term, it's if it quacks like a duck, if it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, well, damn it, it's a duck. This is usually what happens in the cryptocurrency space. People know good and well that they're into scams or that something isn't right, but usually no one says anything because everyone's quite happy making money behind the scenes or while no one else is paying attention. There's someone very famous, I won't name him here because he's an attention hog. He's a billionaire, just to give you a little insight as to who he is, and I'm sure a lot of people will understand. He made sure to mention, I think it was the beginning of this year or the end of last year, how great DeFi was. DeFi is amazing. DeFi is awesome. DeFi is so cool. DeFi, for those of you who don't know, is decentralized finance. And a lot of people are using it because they get very good returns on their money. A lot of times, if you look at the returns from a bank, they may give you 2% a year. If you look at from stocks, you may get 7 to 10% a year. If you look at DeFi, well, that's where it gets absolutely amazing. And people were getting 30, 40, 50% on their money over the course of a year. Yeah, it sounds unbelievable. It's because it actually is. A lot of the people who made these DeFi programs, they're not even DeFi. They're not decentralized in any way. There's always an actual head of the dragon. There's always a company located in a store somewhere who ends up getting shut down or ends up rug pulling a whole bunch of people, taking all of their money. But the problem is that this billionaire this time, after about 3, 4, 5 months of bragging to everyone about how much money he was making, there was a rug pull on his DeFi thing. And the very next day, he began to scream, "We need regulation. This space is so cruel and terrible. We can't have a Wild West." Why? Because when he was making millions of dollars every single day from a protocol that he probably knew was fraudulent, he at some point probably also believed that he could leave the problem early enough. Talk about how much money he made, but guess what? The rug got pulled on him as well, and this is what happens multiple times within the cryptocurrency space. During the daily news that I do on the other channel, we talk about this quite often. I'm very vocal and I let people know often when there are scams, when things are wrong, when things just apparently don't seem right. And wouldn't you freaking know it, I've been right a lot of the times. Not that I called FTX or even cared about it, just that a lot of times you can tell when something is a blatant scam. If someone is offering you 50, 60% returns over the course of a year, you better watch out. And I'm sure that there's at least one person watching this video right now, your heart skipped a beat because you have money in a protocol like that you know is fake. But you've been hoping that it would continue, that you are closer to the top of the pyramid than other people, and therefore you can take your money out and show just how rich that you got and go, everyone else should have actually known what was happening to the protocol. On the 13th of November, we began to have rumors, no one knows if they're true, that apparently Sam Bankman-Fried, who is the former CEO of FTX, the cryptocurrency exchange that collapsed, apparently that he was trying to flee to Argentina, and a bunch of other people were also trying to go to Dubai and other stuff like that. A lot of this stuff it's not even, I think it goes beyond fear-mongering. It's this idea that a lot of the higher-ups in the cryptocurrency space, if you have not noticed this, start paying attention to it right now. And even the other larger crypto YouTubers, they will tell you quite often to be afraid, to get really scared. Prices have to go a lot lower. Whenever there's any instance of anything remotely negative happening in the cryptocurrency space, watch who tells you to sell. Watch who tells you to be terrified. There's no way around this. We simply will never actually recover from this all over again. It's always the same, and it's usually the billionaires who are trying to get you to sell your coins. Why? 6, 7, 8 months later, if the market has recovered, we always hear from the same billionaires and the same multi-millionaires on CNBC, on Fox News, on ABC, wherever you get your news from. Yeah, we managed to buy during the last dip. Yeah, we got in at 8,000. We got really, really lucky. We saw the opportunity. We scared a whole bunch of people, and we bought at very low prices. It's happening once again, and this is where we currently are. I was just on Twitter. You would not believe how many people are telling other people to sell. It's going to be a very long crypto winter. Things aren't looking too good. I've seen the other people on YouTube making the thumbnails where they're holding their faces and they're like, sell right now. Sam Bankman-Fried said, I took your money. It's all a ploy to get you terrified in the market so that you sell and liquidate all of your coins, and usually at a loss. That's usually the worst part, because these people don't care about you. I'm not sure if anyone has ever told you that before. When it comes to money, rich people normally don't actually care about your feelings, if ever. We would live in a very different planet if they actually did. All the people, first of all, I believe that a huge portion of this entire thing that I'm telling you right now was completely orchestrated. I don't think, and even more so, there's a guy, if you know this guy's Twitter handle, I think his photo is of like a white wolf. I think that's what it is. Somewhere on Twitter, apparently this guy figured this out like in March. He figured out everything about the insolvency and how FTX wasn't real, and everyone told him to shut up. They told him he was completely false. He had no idea what he was talking about. I find it really weird that this random person on Twitter would have been able to go through the numbers and figure out exactly how insolvent one of the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges on the planet was, but no one else figured this out. Someone figured this out 8 days ago. Everyone's been told to panic. We were also, no. Here, we're right here. We were on the cusp of everyone losing their mind and being very excited. Why? Because we got news that the Federal Reserve might stop or might slow down their raising of interest rates. We've seen over the course of the last year and a half, whenever the stock market has risen, the cryptocurrency market has risen as well. Isn't it really weird that now we're told to be completely terrified when our market was correlated to the stock market this entire time? But now, because this one cryptocurrency exchange has collapsed, we all have to be terrified for our coins, and everyone has to think that we're going to be in a crypto winter for the next 2 years? Yeah. 2 years. People are talking about this one instance is so bad, now we need regulators to come in. That's another part. Pay attention to that as well. Look at who's calling for regulations. They're usually the ones who actually benefit from this the most. Isn't it weird how like 10 days ago we didn't need regulations, but now we need regulators to come in and save us? Everyone was really hyped for next March. 5% interest rates. That's where the Fed said that they might stop it, but now the cryptocurrency market's in a really dire position. I don't know how much longer it's going to go on. Doesn't this all seem a little weird? Even more so, it keeps happening over and over. This is not my first time making a video like this. It's been multiple times, and I call it out every single time because it's a load of BS. It keeps happening. Do you remember there was another video, it was about a year and some change ago. Something happened, it was another scam, it was another hack. These happen all the time within the cryptocurrency space. They should not be happening all the time, but lo and behold, another one had actually ended up taking place, and everyone was like, yeah, when Bitcoin falls down to 2,000, that's when I'll buy again because, Bitcoin's really high right now, and they're telling everyone, and these people are getting 15, 20,000 likes on their Twitter pages. Bitcoin's price begins to fall, these people buy up, and they go, bull market time, the RSI numbers are stable, and they're looking really great, and guys, get ready, here's another bull run. So, for those of you who haven't caught on to the title and the theme of the actual video, once again, I've been in crypto for a while. I see the signs. I know when things are messed up. The entire cryptocurrency space is probably going to collapse by the end of next year. That's not me trying to terrify you. That's not me giving you false hope or telling you to sell your coins. The crypto space can't deal with these situations anymore. We, I think, during the last half of this year, have experienced already billions, with a B, of dollars worth of hacks. People have lost billions of dollars because of people stealing their monies. They're usually stolen from protocols that actually aren't decentralized. They're also stolen from people who are in the cryptocurrency space who have been screaming for a very long time, decentralization, and then all of a sudden they rug pull, which is also a very common word in this space now. You would not believe how many people tell me, yeah, I was in a project, but it got rug pulled, but it's okay, I still made some money from it. The idea of being scammed is normalized in the cryptocurrency space. These scammers know that they can scam you, and as long as you put in $1 and you made $1.50, you don't really care what happens to everyone else's money. Part of the problem is, as always with a pyramid scheme, the people at the very top are the people actually making out like bandits. It's the people who are making the fake coins, who are making the fake protocols, who are buying property in the Bahamas, who are buying all these other things. There's something else that I want to say, but I won't say it. There's another crypto YouTuber who was quite popular for a number of years. And then recently it was found out that he was able to cash out $1.5 billion from a protocol that he told everyone else was going to be the brand new Bitcoin, was going to be better than everything. I don't understand why people are so content with being scammed, or this feverish amount of greed that everyone has to be able to try and it's really funny because I know that as I'm saying this, people are clicking off of the video. because they know that it's true. I've had this conversation with so many people before, over the years, on the other channel. Hello, if you're watching. Hope you're having a great day and that you're all doing well. I mention this all the time. This coin looks fake. Something's wrong with this. We've seen before, like you can see the metrics for coins or how they're not actually being used. What coin is only being used on a weather app? Or there was one coin years ago where I think they were doing tons of transactions per day. Like it looked like it was a lot of usage on the chain. And then someone checked Block Explorer, where you can check all the transactions that are happening for said blockchain. And it was someone sending 1 cent, 1 penny, back and forth between the blockchain thousands of times. And those were the transactions that they had. And people still stayed with that coin. And now the coin is nearly worth nothing. And everyone, you know, question mark, question mark, question mark. It's just very, very sad. And I mean, I understand the point of capitulation. I understand the point of the weak hands, the not diamond hands, leaving the cryptocurrency market and the tree being shaken and everyone who isn't meant for the crypto space falling out. But now you're losing actual people who've been generally interested in the cryptocurrency market for a very long time. You know how many times I've had conversations with my friends and I'm ready to leave the market because nearly everything is a scam? There are maybe, a very strong maybe, 3 coins that are actually legitimate within the cryptocurrency space. I'll leave you to figure out which coins those are. The number 1 is actually Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't have a CEO. Bitcoin has voices for it. People who believe in Bitcoin, people who are Bitcoin maximalists, but Bitcoin itself doesn't make any promises. It can't. It doesn't have a CEO. That's the most important part of having a decentralized network. On top of that, I think I actually may have covered completely everything in my rant. There's probably going to be, if time and logic tells me anything, by the time we get to next February, there should be another major hack. This is usually the time frame that ends up taking place, maybe late January, who knows. This is going to be another catastrophic instance where we have regulators jumping in, telling us that they're going to give us regulations when they actually give us nothing. But the people who are leaving the market right now, who are selling, are people who probably may not return. The really wicked part of that is someone went, well, they have weak hands. Well, the problem is, the entire point of crypto is for normal people to actually be in the market. I know a lot of people forget about this or don't care because they don't care about poor people. Yeah, I know. I've seen people in the space and how they act. The point of crypto is to enrich Latin America and Africa and Southeast Asia. I know it's hard to hear. I know other people also need money and it's not just you. It's to actually enrich other people who aren't a part of the actual financial system. For them to have no barriers to be able to send money back and forth, to be able to have mining equipment, to be able to mine a small bit of Bitcoin, but they still have some for them and their family to be able to go and buy food as Bitcoin's price actually increases. Every time that these events happen, it's always the same. It's always the same people telling us to leave the market, to get out of the market. This market's terrible, crazy, sell all your coins. Those coins go to the Fidelity. They go to the BlackRock. They go to the JP Morgan Chase. Yep, for those of you who didn't know, JP Morgan Chase is also into crypto. It goes to all these major banks and institutions, and all that ends up happening is we are going to have a repeat of the current financial system. When you talk about the 1% of the 1%, these are the people who rule the world. You would be disgusted to know exactly how much money some of these families and some of these people have. It's nothing like you see with Elon Musk driving a nice car and other, no, like they actually own the planet. The point of Bitcoin is to get away from those people, not to have to tell them or they tell us how the cryptocurrency market is going to be. There was just, at the time of me making this video, the cryptocurrency market has been down for a number of days. Elon Musk tweeted, "It's okay, it's going to be all right. Bitcoin will return," and Bitcoin skyrocketed. It pumped in price. Doesn't that seem really weird that this one man, and in general, stop listening to these idiots. It's driving me insane. The cryptocurrency market has no future if it's the same exact thing as the stock market. You listen to rich people in the stock market because they got rich through stocks. So you say, okay, they have maybe more knowledge than I actually do. If we look towards the Elon Musks and the Warren Buffetts and the, what's the other wrinkly guy? If you listen to all these people over and over, it's the same exact market. That's why I was so shocked when we saw a proper correlation to the stock market over the course of the last year. The entire idea of Bitcoin is if there is economic turmoil, if there is a hyper printing of money. We saw certain countries have an 80% inflation rate. Bitcoin historically before 2018 would go up. Why? Because Bitcoin is finite. There's not a lot of it left. We know that. You use Bitcoin as an inflation hedge. It is not the same as fiat, and it never will be the same as fiat, regardless of how many people out there have tried to make mimics of Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi's Vision, Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Red, Bitcoin Blue, Bitcoin Green, Bitcoin Yellow. There was also a Bitcoin Black. These are all, or were, real coins. We do not have much time left. Our only hope at this point is actual honesty. Yeah, I know, I heard someone chuckle as well. The problem is 95% of the people in this market don't care about other people. They don't actually care about the market. They care about how much money that they can make so that they can brag to other people of exactly how rich they are, how much money they made. You didn't make any money in the crypto market? That's crazy, dude. I made high six figures. Well, next bull run, I hope you make it. If we can figure out a way, and I'm not even hoping, listen, at this point, I'm not hoping for a kumbaya. I'm not hoping for people to hold hands and say, we'll do better this time. Our only hope now is actual regulation. Why? Because we keep allowing these psychopaths into the market. We keep allowing the same people over and over to infiltrate. Yeah, you know, I love crypto. It's really crazy. Decentralization for all. They're popular for 2 years. They make hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, and then they disappear. The markets collapse. They had too much exposure to everything. The contagion happens. And then we're left right back where we started to go, oh my gosh, dude, this is crazy. I can't believe this happened again. Well, you know, just got to wait 2 more years for the next cycle. Bitcoin should not rely on cycles. The idea of Bitcoins having the reward being cut in half is great. It should actually be a huge momentum for the price, but over the course of the next 4 years, it should do something completely different as we keep seeing fiat currencies and governments collapsing. We are witnessing the collapse of the US dollar, but no one cares about that anymore. It's how much money can I make from Bitcoin and other shitty coins to be able to cash out back into fiat currency. How people don't see the signs of everything around us is actually quite frightening. I know that there are some people, I know some people get it, but if we don't change things, if regulators don't give us actual regulation or make sure that crypto exchanges have proof of reserves, if we don't have actual decentralized exchanges that have 100 people around the world who run validators for it. So when the creator of said DeFi protocol tries to rug pull or take their money out, the other 99 validators have to approve it. That's the point of decentralization. But I don't think we're ever going to get there. I think the cryptocurrency space has been morphed in a way that we are just another financial system similar to the other one. So yeah, good luck. And once again, when I say things, it's not to whatever. I don't really care what you think at this point. It's more of a, I'm just telling you to watch out. Because when we have the next hack, when we have the next collapse, when we have the next so-and-so, people will once again be surprised and scared and won't really understand exactly what's going on. There'll be another one in June. People will be really surprised. The amount of people I saw online talking about, dude, I had no idea Sam Bankman-Fried was like this. Really?